Welcome back to my studio. So let's talk about MIDI today. I got quite a few MIDI things here, some of which you probably have never seen before. Some are more common, like that one. But have you seen this, or do you know what this down here is? We'll come to that later. I put chapters up on the left, so you can jump ahead if you like. But let's start with MIDI controllers. Okay, let's start with the basics. Some synthesizers have keyboard, like this one. Or that one here. Others, like this one, don't have keyboards. So you need a MIDI controller to play notes on them. But that's not all you can do with MIDI, like if you have a low-pass filter like this. We can do that over MIDI as well. Or usually you would change presets on the machine like this. But you can do that over MIDI as well. There are other MIDI controllers too, like if we start a drum loop, which is coming in right here, then I can change the volume of that stuff right here. Which is also reflected on the screen here. Then this is a controller too, it's almost like a keyboard. So the upper row controls the pitch. The lower row controls the volume. Again, we can change the low-pass filter over here. And then this thing can do a couple of other things, like, for example, I can change the speed. Then I can change the length. I can hold certain notes. Which is really nice. This is the E303 clone over here, so it plays really well with acid. I can skip certain notes. Yeah, so this is really nice. You can also do that with a sequencer. So I got my sequence in here. But you can already see the notes are spread over 3 screens. And it's not as immediate. So if I want to change a note like that, it always takes a while. Or if I want to change the BPM, so it's a little slower than the frost wave down there. But what it's really good at, let's switch to that and record the Prophet again. So now I got this recorded, and you can see here this goes up to 512 bars. So yeah, that's quite nice. But let's go back to this, and you can see I didn't quite start over here at the beginning, so I can move everything and now it starts right here. Or I can change the pitch of that note. Or maybe I didn't get the length right and I wanted to play really long. And then I can also do automation here, like a filter sweep. Like, there are other nice sequences too. This is the Poly and Zack. I love it so much that I got 2 of them. Let's record something into it. Yeah, so that's quite boring. What's good about it, I can change everything very quickly. So let's move that to the 1 again, like that. And then maybe take this and copy it onto the 3rd lane, turn that one off. And then I can change the length of these and do a polyrhythm. Yeah, maybe we can even change that one a bit more, like that. And now you get a pattern that doesn't repeat. I can also change individual lines, like, wait, tempo. Let's play this one twice as fast, and that one at half speed. So this is pretty immediate, and now you got something you couldn't really play. And of course you can always change the note again. Yeah, that's why I love the Poly and Zack. Yeah, and then there's other important stuff, like this is MIDI clock. If you got several sequences like I do, or if you use an additional DAW, then you want a central clock like this. So let's start our drum sequence again. And let's say we want to change the tempo to something like 80. Now it changed globally. Yeah, and because this is getting on my nerves, let's hide some of the tracks. So if you want to change the speed, for example, to 90, you do it here globally, and then it changes over there as well. Other things you might want to get is a MIDI to USB converter for your DAW. And right here I got a MIDI to CV converter. So you can see right now it gets the clocks there. And you can change that, like this is half speed clock, this is double speed clock, and this is 4 times speed clock. So this comes in very handy if you have older vintage synths that don't understand MIDI but only CV, control voltage. And then what the hell is this monstrosity? This down there is a MIDI hub. It's the Mayo XL. It's got 20 DIN connectors for MIDI and 10 USB connectors for MIDI. And I'm using the patch base here to lead all the connectors on the back to the front. So these are usually on the back. And if you got quite a lot of MIDI cables like these, you don't want to hide them behind your studio desk all the time. So now I can access everything from the front, and I can see, for example, that one here, DIN 4 out from the back of the Mayo XL goes to the Roland JP8080. So I can view everything. This is a godsend. Let's take a peek inside. So these are all the connectors coming from either from the back of the MIDI hub or from that one here. This is a Canton splitter. 1 MIDI in, 12 MIDI out, because the MIDI outs of the MIDI hub weren't sufficient. Then I got a MIDI event processor over here. I'm using that, for example, to address my granular synth. It takes the chip's granular GR1 via only 1 MIDI channel, and then this one splits the signal into 4 MIDI channels to be processed by the synth. And then over here we got another converter. This one converts MIDI to TRS for my pedals. So that's a really nice thing to have. Yeah, and what you can't quite see in this cable mess, here's an Ethernet connector going from the back of the Mayo XL over here to the Mayo XM. So this is connected here. And then this is like a remote station for my other synth. So this one is connected over Ethernet goes into there and then via Ethernet to the main hub. And you can control these with this software here. So let's go into the settings here, MIDI routing, and then you can see that, for example, the keystep keyboard sends signals over RTP to the MyoXM here. Same as the sequencers, the Squab or the Sax, they all send signals over there, so I can remote control the poly evolver from my main desk. And you set this up here in RTP, so both the MyoXM both sends out a signal as an initiator and receives a signal from the MyoXL as a responder. So you have to set that one up. It's a one-to-one connection. It's a bit complicated, but it works. Just like, for example, the clock is allowed to send a clock to everything, whereas you don't want the clock to be repeated, for example, by the frost wave or by the poly and sac or by the Squab Harpak. So I block the clock here. I got only one clock and this is coming from my clock only. Yeah, so this is quite handy if you've got a lot of shit like me. You might want to upgrade your stuff. And yeah, that's been it. This is my MIDI controller shit. Hope you like it. If you did, leave a like, maybe subscribe for more like this, and see you around next time. Bye!